Hi guys, my name is Minhajuddin Ansari and you're watching the 23rd tutorial on C programming, and today I will talk about pointer arithmetic. So you can also do arithmetic operations on pointers, and we have already done arithmetic operations on integral typed variables. So arithmetic operations on pointers is slightly different from arithmetic operations on integral typed variables, and I'm going to give you an example of that right now. So let me first define my integer pointer ptr, and suppose it is storing the address of an integer variable. So suppose it is storing the address 1000. So now if I apply the prefix increment operator on the pointer variable ptr, you might expect the next value to become 1001, but this is not the case. This is pointer arithmetic and it is different from the arithmetic you're used to. The pointer variable, in this case, the address increases according to the size of the data type. And since the size of integer data type is 4 bytes, so it will increase by 4 bytes and the new address will be 1004. Similarly, if you increment the pointer variable again, it will again increase by 4 bytes and the new address will be 1008. Similarly, if you apply the prefix decrement operator on the pointer variable, it will decrease by 4 bytes and again the address will become 1004. So this is an integer pointer. Similarly, if I defined a character pointer, let's name it PTA, and it was storing the address of a character variable. Let's say it was storing the address 1050, and this address is an address of a random character variable. So when I apply the prefix increment operator on the pointer pta, since the size of the character data type is 1 byte, so it will increase by 1. Similarly, if I apply it again, it's going to again increase by 1 and it's going to become 1052. And if I apply the prefix decrement operator on the pointer variable of type character, then it will decrease by 1 as well. So this is the basic idea of pointer arithmetic. And now I'm going to show you where pointer arithmetic might be useful. So first I'm going to define an integer array num of size 5, or let's say size 3. Let's keep it simple. And I'm going to initialize it to 1, 2, and 3. I'm also going to define my integer pointer, and it will be storing the name of the array. And I already told you, the name of the array gets converted into a pointer that stores the address of the first element of the array. So right here, I'm simply assigning the address of the first element of the array to the pointer variable ptr. So now let me draw my main memory just to represent how the array is stored in the main memory. And we already talked about this in our previous tutorials. So I'm just going to write my bytes right here. And I'm going to write the addresses of each byte. So suppose it's starting at 100, this will be 101, this will be 102, this will be 103, this will be 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, and 113, and so on up till the size of the main memory. So now this array num, this will be stored in the main memory, and each element of the array will occupy 4 bytes because each element is of data type integer. So for example, right here, if 1 is stored right here, it will occupy 4 bytes in the main memory, and num at index 0 is equal to 1. So this would be stored right here. Similarly, the second element would also occupy 4 bytes, and num at index 1 is equal to 2 would be stored right here. And similarly, let me change my color to dark brown. And the third element will be stored right here. So num at index 2 is equal to 3. The value 3 would be stored right here. So now right here in the second statement, I have assigned the address of my my array num to my pointer variable ptr. So what's happening is that since num is a pointer variable, it gets converted into a pointer variable that stores the address of the first element of the array. So I'm assigning the address of the first element of the array to the pointer variable ptr. So the pointer variable ptr will be storing this address right here. So I'm going to write it right here, PTR is equal to 101. So now when I increment the pointer PTR, it will increase by 4 bytes because again, it is of type integer. So it will become 1005. And look right here, 1005 is the address of the second element inside the array num. So when I dereference the address 105, I will get the element 2. Similarly, if I again apply the prefix increment operator on the pointer variable PTR, I'm going to get 105 plus 4, 109. And 109 is the address of the third element of the array. So by simply incrementing the pointer, I am actually traversing the array. And this is very useful, and we're going to talk about this later on in our tutorials, but just keep in mind, keep this very important fact in mind, that if your pointer points to the address of the first element of the array, so when you increment the pointer, you will simply go to the next element, to the address of the next element of the array, and from there you can actually access the next element of that array. Similarly, if I apply the prefix decrement operator, so minus minus PTR, this would again subtract 4 from 109 and it will go to the previous element of the array. So before I end this tutorial, I'm going to give you one more example of a character variable, and let me use my black color. So I'm going to first define my character array alpha. I just like to use the name alpha a lot, and it's going to be of size 3, and I'm going to initialize it to character A, character B, and character C. And I'm also going to define my character pointer, and I'm going to name it PTR again, and this will be storing the address of the first element of the array, which is actually the name of the array, because the name of the array gets converted into the pointer that stores the address of the first element of the array. So now again, I'm going to draw my main memory, and this time I'm going to draw a few bytes. I don't need that much bytes anymore. So that's it. And for example, the address is 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, and 55. So suppose the first element of the array alpha, which is a character A, is stored right here. So since the character occupies only 1 byte, so it will occupy only 1 byte right here. And alpha at index 0 is equal to character A, and it is stored right here. Similarly, the second element, which is a character B, will be stored right here, and the third element, which is a character C, would be stored right here. So now, when my pointer variable is pointing to the address of the first element of the array, so PTR is equal to 50. So now when I apply the prefix increment operator on PTR, it will become 51 because the size of the character data type is 1 byte. So the pointer increases by 1 byte and the address will become 51. So it will point to the second element inside the array. Similarly, if I applied the prefix increment operator again, it would become 52. It would point to the third element inside the array. And when I decrement it, it will be decremented by 1, and again it would point to the second element inside my character alpha array. So this is all about pointer arithmetic, and if you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section, and thanks for watching this video.